Okay, so this video is based on the Cambridge IGCSE Business Studies Paper 1, which was sat yesterday on the 22nd of May 2017. Now, what I've done is I've just gone and had a look at the questions, done some model answers. Again, if your answers don't come up, if the points that you make don't come up on this video, then don't panic, because this is just some ideas. I have included some other potential points. You could argue it's slightly an unofficial mark scheme, but there's no reason to panic if your answers don't come up in this video. So the first section was based on Chung and his small retail shop in the city centre selling fashion clothes. Again, I'm not going to really speak through the answers or speak through the questions. I'm just going to allow you to scroll through them, have a read, and just, I suppose, to assess as to if you made similar points or the potential points that you could make in the future. So paper 2 is on Friday. You never know. Questions might still come up based on these topics, so it might give you a bit of an idea. I've also included application points, so you can have a clear look at how I've applied application. So I'll start to scroll through it now. So for question 1A, I've just added a safety point, and that safety point is just an example, just to guarantee the second mark if I was unsure. Now for 1B, I've also put just an additional point. If demand isn't impacted by the location then or by the rent, then it won't be impacted at all because variable costs are based directly on output. So again, I've put just in the column, any marketing techniques would be fine for 1D. I've just included a couple. I've just included sales promotions or promotional pricing, and I've included advertising. But it could be anything to do with promotional mix, it could be anything to do with place, it could have been anything to do with product or anything to do with price. Again, with this one, there's lots of points that you could have mentioned. You could have thought about the exchange rate, especially as it's a foreign supplier. You could have thought about time factor, which I did mention loosely in my evaluation. Okay, so the next section was financially related, and it was based on LWM. So you've got the snippet of information, but you've also got table 1, and use table 1 for the calculation questions. So let me just scroll through these. The first two questions, I don't believe there's the need for application. In fact, there wouldn't be much potential for application within these questions. ROC, just remember you get a mark for just putting the formula, or you get a mark for maybe showing the calculations, and then the second mark for getting the right answer. And the question obviously leads on from that, so it is important that you know your ROCE, but again, just by considering the drop in return on capital employed that provides you your application straight away. Lots of points you could have mentioned for this. I've tried to add as much application as possible. So I've gone for the it helps with greater variety of goods as you can do batches in different sizes. Now, I apologise for this answer. I was in a bit of a rush when I was doing this answer, and it's not the greatest because I actually think adding value and innovation is quite similar. But you could have mentioned many points for this one, and I'll go through a couple of examples at the end of this answer. So I put other possible factors. You could have mentioned customer service. You could have looked at other methods of the the marketing mix. You could have thought of ways of boosting efficiency. Right, this section again, I suppose it was based on Unit 6 with the economy initially. So it looks at what is meant by an economic boom. I've put lots of different points. A period of significant output within an economy, when economic growth is increasing at a positive rate, high levels of GDP. Right, I identify two factors which might affect demand for Manisha's products. Again, there's so many points you could mention. I've just gone for the application. I've gone for interest rates, as it could reduce customer spend due to the cost of borrowing and incentive to save, which actually relates to the next question as well. Or economic activity. They've already said it's boosted demand by 500%. Why? Because of increased employment, allowing for higher customer spending. Other factors, fashion and trends. Seasonal events, if it's in season or out season, depending on what product is, that's lack of application, I suppose. Increasing competition, that could reduce demand. You can see that with all my 6 markers, and there's quite a lot of 6 markers within this exam, but every 6 marker I had the same structure. I have my balanced analysis leading to my weighted evaluation. So the final section, a lot of it was based on Unit 1 actually, in terms of stakeholders in different sectors. So it was based on the company Stepper, which was a shoe manufacturer. So again, for that question 4A, I've just given an example, the 200 employees being a prime example of the stakeholder group. Private sector, just remember, is not related to the government. You could have even mentioned that their main objective is to probably maximise profits. Other factors you could have considered within this, the loss of specialised staff could have been a key point. I went for high recruitment costs and poor working morale. So this motivation question, non-financial, so many different methods you could have used. I've just gone for one that I've gone for two that one of my students told me that he had used. and I think he was spot on. Job rotation and job recognition, but you could have considered delegation, job enrichment, job enlargement, training, okay, those type of examples. So again, I'm hoping this video has filled you with confidence. You've realised that you've done extremely well, and now it's all for paper two. Just remember with paper two, you're going to get a 1 page to 2 page case study, and your initial point has to come from that case study. Application is absolutely vital, probably more so in paper two than paper one, because there's so much content to look at. Every answer has to relate specifically to the situation.